Nansen NFT God Mode. I want to just show a couple of things that we've updated, and of course we'll use Pudgy Penguins as the example to look at. So for those not aware, we have been working on a migration from Nansen 1 to Nansen 2. And in that process, we also tried to simplify and use kind of the Maria Kondo method to throw out stuff that doesn't spark joy. And I feel like we've cleaned up the NFT God Mode view quite significantly, and we've basically made the whole dashboard much higher signal than it used to be. And so I'll just kind of give you a quick tour of some of the new stuff that you can see in NFT God Mode now, specifically using Pudgy Penguins as the example. So firstly, when you open up NFT God Mode, everything up here now I feel is actually extremely helpful in terms of understanding what's happening with the project. So you can see the price movement over time. You can also toggle it to get different price perspective. You can also switch off some of these if I only want to look at the floor price, or if I only want to look at the average trading price, I can do that. But then one question that people often have when they see either price going up or going down is, why is it going up? So who actually bought, and who sold? And so you can now toggle this on a 24-hour view here, and it sort of aggregates it. So here's someone who sold 5 Pudgies, which is a terrible decision that I would never do. I don't know what they're thinking. Here's someone who's been buying 22 NFTs in the last week, which is pretty cool. And then we can actually drill down and look at that specific NFT holder in a moment. In fact, I'll get back to that in a sec. You can also see recent trades that are coming in here. You can see, of course, some of the charts that people know from before, like recent transactions, how many transactions and buyers you have. And then we've simplified the other tabs. We used to have like 10 different tabs, but we found that it's actually easier to just have 2 separate tabs. One that is focused on the owners. So who are the people actually owning Pudgy Penguins? And you can look at the total balance. Think of this as like a cap table. You can also flip it around and look at changes. So who's been scooping up more over different time periods. Let's look at 90 days, for example. You can see where the Pudgies have been going. This is pretty helpful, pretty convenient. And you can also see when they first bought their Pudgies, and you can toggle to get the view of the date or how long it was ago. And then this is a bit of an alpha leak, in my opinion. We have this items section, and it's a funny title, best items. Basically what it does is we have an AI model that is trained on all of the transactions of Pudgy Penguins, and it does this for, I think, 10,000 other collections too. It trains on which traits are the most valuable and then gives an overall estimate, a bit of like Zillow in the US, right? You have like this estimate or whatever it's called. And you estimate how much this Pudgy is worth. And then you have the listing price. So this one is currently listed on Blur. And then you just compare it and you say, actually, let's sort these by the most undervalued Pudgies. And so I've done this in the past where I've basically, when people ask me, which I want to buy a Pudgy, which one should I buy? I would literally use this method and just look at what the AI model says, compare it to the listing price, and then give them the most undervalued Pudgies. And I say, I think you should buy this one. And so now we've made that a lot easier for you. You can just go to items. It's by default sorted by the AI value gap. Maybe we need to come up with a better name for that, but it's the gap between the AI price and the listing price. And so this is a pretty cool way to discover potentially undervalued penguins. Also down here, for those of you who are a bit more technical, maybe, you also get an error estimate of how accurate the model has been historically. So for Pudgy, we actually have a pretty high confidence in the model. It's around 4.5% error if you compare the estimates to the actual transaction prices later. And so that's where we're at. Can you guys still hear me? My headphones went a little bit off there. Yeah, okay, cool.
I think that's an awesome feature. I know there's a lot of culture in our community around like which head trait you might have or which specific trait. And so like to see that Nansen is able to capture some of that, I think is really awesome. Bulls versus wizards or toughs, whatever it might be. So absolutely love that feature.
Awesome. Landon, are you guys looking at NFTs as well on ZK Sync? Is that kind of a big focus area for you, or?
Yeah, we're definitely trying to get it going more. I'll call it pretty nascent as of now. A few collections popping up. Definitely some like native collections that have been around since early mainnet launch. Uh, yeah, definitely trying to grow it. I mean, NFTs, as we've already said, NFTs are the best way, or like one of the best ways to grow communities. Uh,
Yeah.
can't really stack up to Pudgy for at least a long, long time with anything, but Pudgy's on ZK Sync, so we're there.
Amazing. Cool. I promised you guys I would take a quick look at this legendary NFT collector who's been scooping up 22 NFTs. So just to go back to that, and you can drill down and actually look at, what are they doing on the NFT front. And if we scroll down here, you can actually see individual transactions. And one thing that's kind of interesting is that this NFT collector, they scooped up 22 Pudgies in the last week, and they've been selling a bunch of Bored Apes. Not to dunk on Bored Apes, it's a fine collection, but I found it interesting that they have been selling so many Bored Apes. And frankly, they have been selling a couple Pudgy Penguins too, but they bought more than they've sold. And so if you just scroll through here, you can see all of the transactions that they've been making. A lot of blur buys, and it looks like they've been buying some Bored Apes too, frankly. So maybe there's a bit of flipping going on there,
Maybe they're
which is kind of cool. Yeah, go for it.
maybe they're a farmer or something.
Yeah. That could be actually. They might be farming like blur tokens or something like that. But yeah, so this is an example of where you can kind of start at the top. You see the price. You see, well, who's actually been buying? Like why is the price going up? You see a specific wallet that's been buying many. You drill down to the wallet itself, and you get an overview of or an understanding of what this particular market participant is doing. And I'm excited to point out that we're soon going to have this type of functionality available for ZK Sync as well, so you can dig super deep into what's happening on ZK Sync.